Yeah, I'm asking, do you have any questions regarding the topic which I covered is interactivity, which is nothing but you responding to user events. User might click on this button, user might click on this, you might drag, you might do a mouse over, yeah, you might click on this input and start typing. This typing is also an event. My question is, all these are events, right? Yesterday we have only learned syntax of how to register the handler. Yeah, that's all. How to register the handler, and once we register, this handler will give, will be invoked. This is a function. Handler is the term we use for all the function which handles the event. This function will be called by React. Yeah, yeah, it with an event object, and that event object will have a lot of useful properties and methods. Event object has a lot of useful properties and methods. Yes. Now what I, as a next learning, yeah, since we just know how to attach event handler, we've also understood the different syntax. Remember, I told you we can even write an arrow function here, and here we are not supposed to call the function. Let's say I have an arrow function. Now here I can call the function handle click. And for writing all this different syntax to be familiar, you have to practice this. This is one side of the event handling story. Now the second part, what I'm trying to say today is these event handlers. Okay, there are so many different events. I think I have a list. Let me show you. Yeah, whatever events you are trying to handle it, these events. Okay, there are so many events. If you remember yesterday, I told you there are so many events: clipboard event, image events. So there are many events which are supported. For example, yeah, event names and some of the interesting properties of event object. See, there is a mouse event. Okay, now you have handled. You know what is on click. So we can register an on click event, and you can register this on any element. It need not be button only. Yes, usually button is what we click. Button or anchor tag is what user generally clicks. It doesn't click somewhere on the screen and expect something, correct? But still you can add. There is no restriction to where you can add this. Yeah, where you can introduce this. No problem. You can write it. Now let me comment out these two things. Also, let me add some style to this div because you are not sure where the div is. So let me add a style object. That's how we add. Okay, let's say border. In the quote, we say 1 pixel solid. You see, where is the div now? Where is the div? That box, rectangular box, whatever you're seeing, that's a div. Correct? Since it's an object, I can put some padding also. Padding 5 pixel. So you got the div. Now, if at all you want this event handler which is registered on this on click, if you want this to be executed, yeah, which is an arrow function you have used, fine. So if you want this function to be called in response to this on click, now you have to click anywhere within this rectangular box, isn't it? Yeah, let's click on this box now, and let's see how does the uh, you know event handler gets responded for this. Okay, I'll also open terminal. Okay, how did I lose the console? I lost the console somehow. Interesting.
So second button.
Oh, here is okay. Second button.
Yeah,
I
here
think
on the click me, but click me on the.
your second button.
Yes, sir.
This is okay. Chrome Dev Tools. Yeah, I think yeah. This is a Dev Tool console only. Yeah, we can even see in this console also. This is also good. Earlier we were seeing a different console, but that's okay. Yeah. So let's me click on the click me. Say it says there is a problem. Okay, it cannot read this event dot target. That's okay. I'll comment out that one also for now. I clicked on this div. See, parent div clicked. You got this message. What did you get? You got parent div clicked. See, this button is also inside this div only, correct? Now, how React will understand that if I click on this button, how it will understand that I have clicked on div only or I have clicked on button? They're overlapping basically, isn't it? They're overlapping element. Now, so it will understand, okay, based on what element you have clicked and what is the target and all that. But in this case, if there is an event handler in click me, that also gets executed. If there is an event handler, yeah, on the div, that also gets executed. That is what we discussed yesterday. I have told you the fundamentals of event handlers. Basically, if you click here, then all the parent elements, including this element, will be notified because there is an event called click has happened. You understood? If there is an event happens, that element and all its parent element get notified that same event has happened. Now, but in general, we don't want anything to be done at the parent element or anything to be done at a specific element. We generally handle events on the target element itself, most of the case. But there are cases where we want to handle in the parent element. Fine, that's a totally different topic. Okay, let's not to get too much into it. I'll cover that also in a separate video under JavaScript series. So when it comes to this example now, see on click, I'm able to click on this. Now here I change the syntax a bit. That's why we were not getting that. Yeah, I showed you a different syntax. Okay, for now I'll put handle click. Now you can see that both the both what both these divs click me. See that you got this event dot target plus the parent div. Do you understand? So both these events are getting executed now. So far any question in terms of syntax or how it is executing? Are you clear? You guys have to speak up actually. If there is anything that's stuck. Okay, so I'll take it as no or yes.
So,
Yeah, Rajesh, what's the question?
so here on click handle click, it will click me, it will refer to the
It is, I am saying I am written, I have to write usually the function name. If I already created, then I have to write the function name. Not, I should not invoke that function. So this handle click refers to this function which is written here. See,
SF.
this is a function.
Is correct.
Okay, and now this function is called by the event, the event is going to call this function because I have told you can, if the event click happens, you call this function. And while calling this function, there is an optional argument which gets passed. Meaning
Yes, correct.
you can write, you can write any name because it's just like a function, right? So that it will pass that object, and that object has the special some special properties. For example, target, very important one. Once you click, it will tell me where the event has happened. Tell me where is the event happened, click event happened, HTML button. It is saying the target. I am not printing EV. I am printing EV dot target. EV has lot of properties. That is what I asked you. Okay, you guys now practice. Now what Manoj is doing, he printed EV dot target. Okay, good. So what is the meaning of target? That's what I wanted you to understand. You see now, there is a property called event dot button. You know what is that event dot button is printing? Tell me what is that event is pointing? You don't know. So that's what we want. We want to have to understand. Okay, there is a property called button. This is telling whether you clicked, you know. So this is a mouse event. First thing is you have to understand this is a mouse event. Click is a mouse event. You cannot click from keyboard, correct? Yeah, maybe even possible with a touch. So this click event is actually a mouse event, and button will tell whether you clicked on left button or middle button or the right button. So in your mouse you have three buttons, correct? The older days you have mouse, now you have all touchpad, but there also you got a buttons, two buttons. So if left button is clicked, then it will print, print what? Let me click left. It says 0. I want to detect whether he has clicked right. See now. Yeah, I'm unable to click. It is opening the context menu. Right? Okay. So let's especially in mouse. So now I'm clicking. Okay. It's gone printing 0 only because I'm clicking on the left button. So that's a useful property for some use cases. For some cases we need that. Other than that, if you remember, I told you client X and client Y also gets printed, meaning X coordinate of the mouse pointer. So if you take this is a viewport, where exactly the X value, where exactly the Y value will come, and that event happened, like let's say if this corner, then what is X and Y value? That also it will print, it seems. So right now you don't have the use case, but you need to know that okay, such an information is available so that I can take some actions accordingly. Soon you will understand okay, what is the usage of all these things. Yesterday, if you remember, I also told there is something called event.type. Now all I wanted is okay, yes, this is giving you the list. So event.type will tell whether it's a click event or so what type of event it is. See, it says click, which is nothing but a click event. Again, there are types. Yeah. Okay. So this is how a mouse event, one of the mouse event we saw, and we are seeing some interesting properties. Let's see some keyboard event. Okay. So this is very common. Okay. Then mouse enter. Let me see what is on key down or on change. Yeah. Let's see the on key down event now. Now before moving on to on key down, Manoj had a confusion. So you have written event dot prevent default, event dot stop propagation. Okay. So I believe it's a confusion. Now you see, if I click on button, you saw that even this parent is also getting printed. Why? Because the event propagates from button and then it goes to div, which means whenever it is propagating, whatever handlers are registered, it will execute all of them. It will go on calling all of the handlers. Correct? In simple words. So let's say if the div has a handler, div has a event handler, and then that button also has an event handler. Yeah, it is first execute this event handler function. This one first. Yeah, and then the same event now goes to this div also. Now this is a second event handler. What is it? This is a second event handler which gets executed, which means this function gets called first and then it goes to the second one. Assume this is a div element. Now what if div also has some parent? It will even go to that parent also. Meaning the event now triggers the function which is registered as EV handler for its parent. And this way the event is moving from one element to other element, yeah, from child to parent, yeah, is actually called as event propagation. Event happened here, But now, so it is kept on notified. Parent is being notified that such an event has happened. This is called what? Event propagation. Now, in sometimes, in most of the cases, we don't want event to propagate. We just want to handle ourselves. It is as simple as if there is something going on in our house, we just want to handle ourselves, correct? We don't want to give it to the public. Sometimes yes, it goes out to the public. Now if you don't want this handler to be called, or you don't want even this handler to be called, whenever you are handling in the first place, if in the first place itself, if you call this method called, okay, event stop propagating. Now I am there to take care. I will take care of everything. So you stop, don't move. So then it will cut off. It will not execute this also. It will not execute this function also, and so on, all the way up to the root. This is called stop propagation. Now shall we see the example? Yeah, shall we see the demo? Now I'll enable the stop propagation. First, without propagation, you see child as well as the parent. Now let me show you with the propagation, this event handler will not be called, which means what? We will not see this message. Let's see. Again, click on the button. Okay. Again, clicked on the button, but you see there's a mistake I've done. So here I put EV, here I've written event. So I have to change it as EV only. Yeah, that's a I think typing mistake. Now you see once again I'll click. See now, only click has happened, which is event type only. So this function is completely executed, but this console log did not print. Why? Because I am stopping it in that event handler. I am stopping it to go further. Is it clear or not clear? Okay. So if you guys are not responding, let's move on. Okay.
Sir, sorry, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
So in EV dot stop propagate, in that they have one more nested any function is there. It won't execute also, no?
You are saying here if I have written another function here.
Yes, sir.
See, this stop propagation will not stop the function execution. No, that you should not do it, or that is not the understanding. See, all these lines will execute. This complete function will execute. No doubt on that. Only thing is, event will not move from the child to the parent.
Okay.
I am saying the stop the event propagation. I am not saying stop the function execution. This function. This is not stop the execution. This is just stop the propagation, so that this function will not get called.
Okay.
Okay. So now we learned how to handle this event. We saw what is stop propagation. We also saw some interesting property on click. So next thing I'm saying, let us understand handle change. Manoj, did you understand what is handle change? Can you explain? Because I'm seeing you have tried some things. Are you there, Manoj?
So I was trying. I didn't complete it. That
Okay,
I
you didn't
was
complete.
trying.
You were trying, but you didn't complete it.
Sir.
Okay, fine. So first thing is, yes, the name of the event is on change. Yeah, all the event names are in camel case. On and then the actual event name. Yes, this is an event called on change. What is the use of this on change? Any idea what is the use of and change? This event is used to read the input from an input box. I've added an input box. What I've added? I've added an input box, but then I want to read the value of the input. See now I'll start typing something. I want to read this value. To read that value, we use onChange event. Now see this function is written, nothing is happening, correct? Where it is reading. That this comes as a value. This comes as a value part of the event object. See I'll take event object as E, and then I'll try to print E dot value. What I'm going to print? E dot value I'll try to print. And you see that whatever I'm going to type, that value will be there. Interesting. Nothing is there. It is printing undefined. Yeah, this handle change becoming undefined. Let's see why. Yeah, I can inspect what is going on here. Yeah, and I can inspect and see what are the interesting properties which this handle change event has. Okay, yes, type is a change event. Fine. Then target, yes, it has happened on input element. That is also correct. It is telling this is an input element on which this event has happened. All right. Do you see a value? No. Correct? Okay. Actually, the event value is part of event dot target dot value. See, target dot value. I was trying to print only, you know, value. No, it is event dot target dot value will print what is in its input. So that's where I'm seeing the value. And it will also tell what type of input I'm doing, whether it's a text input, radio input, correct? So type text. From this, it will tell me that, okay, this is input box, fine. Yeah, even checkbox is also an input only, but in that it is type, it is equal to text. So I can print that also. Console dot event log event dot target dot okay type.
Type.
So now if I ask Copilot, okay, give me, I don't know, now I have not understood. Give me in, on change event important, okay, on change event object important properties. Let me ask Copilot. See, I'm just talking about that now. Yeah, these are very important. Yeah, these are the ones which I want you to remember now, or I want you to. So we displayed type. We are now talking about value, but then there is another interesting property called name. Okay, let's see first these two values are printing or not. See now, it's not a click event. Huh? It will not happen once you click. It is happening on change. See, it is saying, okay, so it is test and the type is text. And what exactly is event.target.name? Any idea? e.target.name. Assume I don't know now because I have not read. I can ask what exactly it is. No, they have already given. If your form element has a name attribute, this property will hold its value. Now, did anybody follow what it is saying? In simple, let's say for input, we know that we can write name attribute, correct? First name, last name. Do you agree? can write first name and last name, correct? Okay, there is a syntax or an expected token. Sorry, I put double equals to. Now you see what is the name it is printing. Yeah, it's printing something, correct? This name it is printing. And like this is what I actually wanted you to explore on each of these common events. What are the different interesting property and what is the meaning of it? Say I told you about type can be sometimes text, it can be checkbox and radio also. If it is a checkbox, then we will get true and false. Let me show you that also. How do I first create a checkbox? Input type is equal to checkbox, and now I'm again writing on change. Again here I will reuse the same handle change. Getting it? Now all I'm going to do is check, uncheck. So on, value is coming on. Checkbox is a type. But does it have a name? No, it does not have a name. Okay, so let me put agree. I'll just put a name as agree. Let's check once again. See, it says agree. That's a name. I want to give a different value. Value. Yeah, I want to pass value for this as yes. See, yes. What exactly you are printing? Aniket, I didn't follow you what you're saying. All done. Okay. So in simple, okay. So this is what is event handling. This is what I want you to understand from each of the properties which from first thing is event names. Yeah, you have to be familiar with so many event names. So I'm saying now there are many events. Yeah, it will become difficult to cover. No, but all these properties will have one of these properties. Now we understood mouse event. One example is on click. Next we understood one form event, which is almost like keyboard only. So under the keyboard we have got form events that we have understood. We can also put copy. You know what? Copy. When will the copy fire? Tell me. I select some text and then I say right click and copy. Getting what I'm saying? Select something and say copy. How? So we can add here actually on copy. And here itself I can write an inline function. Yeah, and here itself I can get that object also. So console.log, okay, copy event, okay, copy event. Let's see if that works. You see something happened? Nothing happened. And then I'll say copy. See, the copy event fired. And in this event, okay, what else is useful? You can check. I can just directly print what is there in the event.target. Let's see if it has some useful properties. Select, then say copy. This is a label element. Yeah, it will tell me. I don't think so. This will have a target now. This is not required to have a target. I can just directly inspect on that event object itself because there is nothing which will be available on the event target. Mostly things will be available at at the normal object itself. See, this is a copy event. You see the type is copy. Fine. What is a selection? Do you see what it is selected? No, nothing. Okay, it is not selected anything. Yeah, we can see that. But then that is what is this event is going to explain. Okay, tell me on copy. What all it will have? Where will the selection be? Whatever copied text, where it will be, which property I can see. Tomorrow, one, your teammate will ask, okay, implement on copy event, and whatever copied text, you put it in a list, put it in a clipboard. I am saying on copy event properties. Likewise, you will have to explore each event. Yeah, and again, I'm not saying everything which is required. See event dot target, event dot type, fine. Okay, where is the copy text? So there is something called event dot clipboard data. So whatever I am copied will be part of this clipboard data. So if at all I want to access that value, then I can just say event dot clipboard data. Now I'm going to get whatever I am selecting here. Yeah, I'm going to get, I think it is more than that. Yeah, it's not getting me what I actually have selected, but that's fine. Yeah, we will have to understand. So this is only having get data. Oh, okay, which means I have to invoke this function. It's an object. Yeah, because it's an object, I have to invoke this function to get what I have selected. So let me say put and see if the selection source is put. Okay, it says again get data is what I've written, but I think the syntax is wrong. But we can see, okay, we can, yeah. So you can use this method like get data to interact with the clipboard. Yeah. So likewise, I'm saying be familiar with these events. See this. I think this is what we were trying to get. I think we have to pass this text also so that it will give me a textual information from that. They give an example. Okay, so likewise, the most commonly used events you have to be familiar. So I would not be able to sit here and explain all the events and show you different properties. Yes, in the future, let's say we will see some events. That time we can talk and that event only. We use heavily, let's say, to form handling. Form handling is where the event actually comes into picture. All right, I think we'll stop here for today. So let me know if you have any questions now.